You're moving to Boise, Idaho, and you're looking at buying a new construction home. In this video, we're going to cover why you should consider buying a new construction home, but more importantly, what you need to watch out for when you're buying a new construction home. We're also going to touch on some of the best builders here, and you're going to want to see point number 4 of the cons of buying a new construction home, because it can cost you a lot of money if you're not aware of it. Before we jump into the pros and cons, why you should buy a new construction, what to watch out for, let's cover a little bit of lingo so that you're aware of what these builders will say and what they mean when they're talking about new homes. So first, you're going to want to know that when they refer to move-in ready, quick move-in, or inventory homes, these are homes that are either already completed, actually done, ready to be purchased and moved into in the next 30 days or so, or they are already under construction. So these are homes that have already been completely spec'd out by the builder, by the designer, and there's really generally no changes that you can make to the home. Now that's going to vary depending on who the specific builder is and how far along in the process that home is. So in some instances, there literally are no changes that you can make, even if that home has not actually broken ground yet, but it's considered a spec home by that builder. Other builders, if that home has already broken ground, it might even be framed and you get in early enough, you can still come in and make a few changes to that home. I just did that with a client with one specific builder here called Chism, and we were able to make quite a few design changes even though that home was already framed. Now, the other term you'll hear often is pre-sold or a build home or build with us. And what that means is basically you are building a home with that builder. So you are selecting one of their floor plans in one of their communities, and then you are building that home. At that point, you can get in and do all the design and upgrades that your heart desires. Just be prepared. That might get costly, but you will get exactly what you want with that home. So when you hear these different terms, know what they mean with the different builders. Now, I myself actually moved here from California, from San Diego, and I bought a new construction home myself. So I know exactly the process from the consumer standpoint, having done it. I have also helped a lot of people buy new construction homes, and I absolutely love working with you and working with the builders and getting you that nice final product at the end of the day. That's exactly what you're looking for. So if you are looking to make the move here from California, another West Coast state, or anywhere else, I'd absolutely love to help you do that. Let's cover a few reasons why you should buy a new construction home. The number one reason, it is a brand new home. I love personally buying a brand new car. I like living in a brand new home, basically for the same reason, which is I know the exact history on that vehicle. I'm the one that has driven it. I'm the one that's maintained it. I know everything about it. I know that I haven't abused it. That's the same thing when it comes to buying a home. When you're buying a resale home, a used home, an existing home, you don't really know what all has occurred with that home. You don't know exactly how things have been maintained over time by that prior owner, and you can be in for some big, expensive surprises. With new construction, there really are not that many surprises except for the ones we're going to cover in the con section of this video. But overall, it's like a brand new car. You come in, it's kind of a clean slate, and you know exactly the maintenance history on that home. You know that all the major systems are brand new, they're under warranty, and they're not going to break right away. If you buy a resale home, oftentimes the major systems like the roof, the HVAC, the plumbing, that all starts breaking at year 10, 15, 20, and you're going to be on the hook for a lot of major expenses if those were not already taken care of. The second reason is the warranty that I referenced. Pretty much any builder here is going to provide a 1-year builder's warranty, and then the specific mechanical systems will have longer warranties applied to them, 5, 10-year warranties. Typically, that's going to come with them. Of course, the roof is going to have usually a 20 or 30-year manufacturer's warranty on those as well. Now, certain builders will also give longer structural warranties in addition to the 1-year warranty. So you might get a 5, 6, 7, or maybe even 10-year structural warranty from the builder in addition to that 1-year warranty. Third reason is modern floor plans and construction materials. You're getting the latest in design with open concept floor plans and the latest building materials that are of the highest quality. So I really love it for that fact. You're not getting a home that's all kind of cut up with old designs and just older style materials. Number 4 is really the convenience of having a move-in ready home with a blank slate for you. And it might be a spec home where it's simply nice neutral colors. You don't have to go in and paint a pink wall, for instance, or it's a home that you have actually gone in and designed with the builder that you built with them, and you got to pick out exactly what you want. And number 5, you are getting the latest in energy efficiency. So some of these homes are going to actually be HERS rated. That's the highest level of energy rating. It's above Energy Star. It's going to depend on the builder, but all these homes are going to be very energy efficient, which will save you a lot of money in utility bills. Number 6 is these homes are typically first come, first serve. So there really are not going to be any bidding wars unless the market happens to be super hot. At the moment when I'm recording this video, more of a balanced market kind of favoring buyers. So you can really get in and not have to worry about bidding against any other people and hoping your offer is going to get accepted. Now, what builders reps will tell you, sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, that's where you got to figure it out, is that they'll always tell you there's interest in that home. They'll always say something like, oh, I've had a couple people that are really interested in that. Again, sometimes it might be true, sometimes not so true. And number 7, depending on market conditions, there could be a lot of builder incentives available to you. That could be a combination of builder incentives or preferred lender incentives if you're using that preferred lender of the builder. It's going to vary depending on market conditions. At the moment, most builders are still offering some kind of incentive, but it's certainly a lot less than it was when the market had really slowed down in late 22 and early 2023. Now, before we hit the cons section and what you need to know that's going to avoid you a lot of cost is you really want to make sure, no matter what, you get a home inspection on your home. Even though it's brand new, they're going to say, hey, this has gone through city inspections. Our project managers have reviewed this. They're going to kind of try to discourage you from getting a home inspection. They're going to put things in the contract that are going to say like, hey, this could extend the close if you get a home inspection. We won't warranty the insulation in the attic if the home inspector is crawling around the attic, smashing down the insulation. Those kinds of things, because they're going to not want you to get a home inspection because they don't want to have to go back and fix extra things. Now, generally speaking, you're not going to find a whole lot in brand new construction homes. I just went through a home inspection with a very reputable builder here, and we found some really interesting things, especially in the crawl space. There was a smashed duct. Someone had laid on it somehow and had smashed it. Never would have known except for the inspector going in there and crawling around. We also found that the air return was super, super loud. And I knew that I was going to be told that's just how it is. There's nothing we can do about it. So I took a video of it to show the builder rep, how loud it really is. We're in the middle of getting that resolved, but my client would have been left on their own to try to fight with the builder and probably would never have gotten it resolved. We're going to get that taken care of. I've also found other things like mold in a crawl space, where the crawl space in a conditioned crawl space was sealed up too quickly, caused mold. Again, the builder took care of it once we found it, but we never would have known if we had it done an inspection. You're also going to want to do your own thorough blue tape punch list prior to close to make sure any cosmetic things are taken care of by the builder. Now, I have a master's in construction management from USC, and I have personally punched literally hundreds of homes, and I know exactly how to do this, and I will help you through this process. And that's really where my strength comes in, having had that years of project management experience building luxury condos and apartments in San Diego. And I brought that up here with my construction management background to help you when you're buying a new construction home. So before we hit the cons, if you are looking at buying a home here in Idaho, whether that's new construction or a resale home, all you got to do is reach out to me and I will help you through that process. Whether you're 9 days, 90 days, or even 2 years out, I would love to jump on a phone call, a Zoom call with you. We'll figure out exactly what the best area of the Boise, Idaho is for you, what your budget is, what your timeline is, and we'll help you make that smooth move here to Idaho. I absolutely love helping people all the time, just like you and you and you and you and you, and I would love to help you as well. So just reach out via phone, text, or email. Contact information is on the screen and in the information below this video. Next thing to know before we hit the cons about new construction is that you'll often find homes listed on the MLS, on Zillow, that actually just don't exist. It'll look like it'll exist. It's a picture of a brand new, beautiful home, interior photos, and then come to find out that home has never been built. And it can seem kind of misleading. Basically, what builders are trying to do is they're trying to use these homes as lead magnets to get you to call them, get your information, try to get you in their system, and work with you direct without having any kind of representation. So just make sure that the home you're looking at actually exists. I can help you figure that out because there's confidential information that I can have access to. Call the builder, find out what the deal is. Let's dive into what you need to know or some of the cons of new construction. First off is these are going to be brand new neighborhoods. What that means is that these are not going to be mature neighborhoods with nice big mature trees that are 20 years old. You're going to have little small trees throughout the neighborhood. May not be a big deal. Sometimes there's some pros. You don't have lots of leaves floating all over there or maybe sap dripping on your cars that you might get from bigger trees. However, it doesn't look as nice. So if you're looking for a nice mature neighborhood, you may want to not look at brand new construction. because it might take 10, 15, 20 years for those trees to get there. Next up is limited upgrade options, especially if you're buying a spec home. Now, as I mentioned before, unless you're going to build with a builder that could take 8 to 9 months to build, you're going to be extremely limited on any type of upgrades that you're going to be able to do. Secondly, generally speaking, you're going to get a really small concrete patio in the backyard. It might be a 10 by 10 patio, and that's it. Maybe you're lucky and get a 10 by 20. It's just going to depend on the home and what the builder decided to do on that spec home. They might have included a covered patio, especially if it's a higher end builder. Oftentimes you will get those. If they're a more affordable builder, then oftentimes you're going to get a 10 by 10 or 10 by 20 with no covered patio. And you usually cannot put a covered patio on yourself that's going to attach to the home, because that could void the structural warranty. Next up is going to be the fencing. All the HOAs are going to require that you have fencing. However, the builders may or may not include fencing in the purchase price of the home. So that can be a big surprise when you find out that you don't have fencing and you have to pay for it. And that could come out of pocket $5,000 to $10,000, depending on the level of quality of that fencing material. So that's something we really want to try to get negotiated into the contract for you, so that you don't have to come out of pocket later for that big cost. And then the fourth one, which can be a big surprise, big cost for you, is landscaping overall. I mentioned the concrete, I mentioned the fencing, but you also have to look at whether or not front and backyard landscaping is included. Oftentimes, most builders do include the front landscaping, but they often do not include the back landscaping. And again, that comes as a huge surprise. Back landscaping can cost you anywhere from $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, depending on what you're going to do. Now, even if the landscaping is included, it most likely is going to be on the more basic side. It's likely going to be sod and sprinklers, maybe some rock, maybe some plants. But it's nice to have that done for you, especially if you don't really care too much about how custom your backyard is. Now, if you do want a custom backyard, of course, I've got contractors that can help you with that. And then you are going to be spending more money. And again, that could easily cost you in the $30,000 to $50,000 range. I myself did my own backyard by myself. I brought in specialty contractors for the concrete because I can't do that. But I wanted a huge patio. So you can see here, I put in a large 20-foot deep patio by the length of my property. And it's great for the kids to roll around and ride bikes and scooters and just hang out, because you don't really hang out on sod. So if that's something you're looking to do, again, I have contractors that can help you put that in. Something else that you're not going to get typically with new builds are going to be all of the appliances. So of course you will get the stove, the range, usually a microwave, dishwasher, but you're not going to get a refrigerator and a washer and dryer. Those are typically going to be things you're going to have to purchase after the fact. A couple contract things you need to know about is that there are very limited, if any, contingencies. So oftentimes you're going to be coming in with non-refundable deposits. Most of the builders don't really allow much for any sort of contingency. Financing contingencies, home sale contingencies, appraisal contingencies. It's going to depend on the builder and the specific contract and what we can negotiate in. Now, sometimes builders will tell you, no, you don't get any contingencies, and sometimes we can negotiate those things back in. So it just really depends on the builder, how motivated they are at the time. So that's why you gotta work with me so we can negotiate these things for you. I mean, I get pushback from builders frequently, and I just push right back for you, and then I get them to give a little, but it's just gonna depend specifically on the situation. I briefly wanna cover some of the big builders here in Idaho. I have a whole nother video that I'll be making that'll be released here shortly about who the builders really are and the pros and cons between all of them. But basically, there are going to be the big tract home builders here are gonna be from kind of most affordable on up. You've got CBH Homes, Hayden Homes, Hubble Homes, Lennar, KB Homes is starting to come into the valley here. Those builders are going to be on the more affordable side of things overall. CBH being the most affordable, followed then by Lennar, KB Homes, Hayden. So just depending on your budget and the quality of work that you're looking for, it's going to depend on which builder you end up going with. Something I'll say about Hubble and Hayden is that if you're looking at another builder like Toll Brothers, which I'll cover here briefly, you can often get a lot more for your money with those builders than you could with these other more high-end luxury builders. So let's touch briefly on Toll Brothers, kind of in a category of their own, being a large national builder, but also more on the luxury side. So they are newer to Idaho at the recording of this video, and they're making a splash, and they have a lot of communities around here. If you do end up going with Toll Brothers, just make sure you reach out to me, make sure that I visit that model home with you when you talk to them to make sure that I can represent you. The example I gave about the inspections earlier in the video was actually a Toll Brothers community. So you really want to make sure you get represented. They're a good builder. They're new to the area. They're still kind of working things out with their subs. You just really got to stay on them, especially as you get through completion, to make sure you're getting the quality product that you want. But overall, they are a solid builder. Then you get into other builders like Tresidio, Berkeley, Brighton, Venta Homes, Stanford Builders, a whole slew of other kind of tract home but semi-custom builders. Very high-end builders. You're going to get things like with Toll Brothers, like 9-foot ceiling standard, oftentimes tray ceilings, maybe vaulted ceilings, and you can do a lot of customizations with them, especially if you get in early. All fantastic builders. Also, Boise Hunter Homes is another great one. Also tract home builders, but you can do semi-customizations with them as well. There are also just a whole lot of other smaller semi-custom builders around the valley, and they're all going to build in smaller developments, and you might go into a place and there could be a whole hodgepodge of builders like Core Building Group over here, Stanford over here, Emmett Price over here. That's going to be just kind of a mix of builders. You're going to find all nice custom builders as well. And then you get into the full-blown custom builders as well. If you are looking to custom build a home on your own lot, please reach out to me. I do have contacts with builders. I can help you through that process as well. That's an overview of buying new construction here in Idaho. If you are looking to buy a new construction home, please reach out to me via phone, text, or email. I absolutely love helping people just like you make the move here to Idaho, and I would love to help you with that as well. If you are looking to explore more about Idaho and the Boise area specifically, then just check out this video right here. I dive into more detail. I'll see you on the next video.